Welcome to the Spelling Bee Ninja podcast. Today, we are diving into a fascinating topic in economics, the evolution of currency, from gold to fiat money. Have you ever wondered how our modern monetary system came to be? How did we move from carrying around heavy coins made of gold to simply swiping a card or tapping our phones? In this episode, we will explore the history of money, its various forms, and its significance in our daily lives. Let's start at the beginning. Money has been a crucial part of human civilization for thousands of years. In its earliest forms, people used commodity money. This is where certain items that had intrinsic value were used as a medium of exchange. For example, in some ancient societies, commodities like salt, grains, or shells served as money. Each had value due to its scarcity and usefulness. Take salt, for instance. It was so important in ancient Rome that soldiers were paid in salt. This payment was called salarium, which is where we derive the modern word salary related to payment. Imagine that, as societies grew and trade expanded, carrying around bags of grains or shells became impractical. This is when we began to see the rise of metal coins. Gold and silver became popular because they were not only valuable but also durable and portable. Ancient cultures such as the Lydians in what is now Turkey issued the first known coins around 600 BC. These coins were stamped with symbols to mark their authenticity and value, helping facilitate trade more efficiently. By using metal coins, people could trade goods and services in a more standardized way. The value of a coin was often tied to the amount of precious metal it contained. This is known as commodity money, where the item itself holds value because of its material. However, there were challenges. The issue of trust was paramount. People needed to trust that the coins were genuine and that their value would remain stable over time. As economies became more complex, the gold standard emerged. Under this system, currencies were directly tied to specific amounts of gold. This created a stable financial environment since the value of the currency was easily understood. Countries such as the United States, Britain, and many others operated under this system for a significant period. However, if a nation fell short of gold reserves, its economic stability could be threatened. Moreover, this system limited the flexibility of governing bodies to manage their economies effectively. During times of war or economic crisis, the constraints of the gold standard often proved too limiting. It was during the 20th century that we witnessed the beginning of a significant transformation in the way currency operates. Countries began to abandon the gold standard, especially during the Great Depression of the 1930s when a fixed currency system could not respond effectively to economic realities. It became apparent that economies needed to be more adaptable to changing circumstances. Thus, fiat money was born. Fiat money is currency that has value not because it is backed by a physical commodity, like gold, but because the government maintains it and people have faith in its value. Today, the most commonly used form of currency around the world is fiat money. When you hold a dollar bill, for example, its value is not derived from any physical gold reserved by the bank. Instead, it holds value because we trust that other people will accept it for goods and services. Fiat money marked a defining moment in economic history. It enabled governments more control over their economies, allowing them to adjust money supply and interest rates in response to economic challenges. However, this newfound flexibility also comes with risks, such as inflation. Inflation occurs when too much money is printed, causing prices of goods and services to rise, which diminishes purchasing power. In addition to global economic systems, personal finance interacts directly with the evolution of money. Understanding the transition from commodity money to fiat currency helps us appreciate the importance of managing our personal finances wisely. In a world where money has no physical backing, budgeting, saving, and investing become essential ways to secure our financial future. As we reflect on the evolution of money, it's intriguing to consider how technologies have continued to shape our currency. With the rise of the internet, we are experiencing a new generation of currency, digital currencies like Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. These digital formats have sparked debates over what money means in the digital age. And even more relevant today is the notion of a cashless society. In many places around the globe, people are opting for card payments, mobile wallets, and online transactions rather than carrying cash. This convenience reflects future trends and possibilities for how we understand and use money. Yet, it is also essential to remain aware of issues related to security and privacy in our increasingly digital world. And the journey from commodity money to fiat money represents more than just the evolution of a system. It reflects our changing societies and economies. Each step, from the use of salt to gold coins, and now to our reliance on fiat and digital currency, tells a story of human innovation and adaptation. So, the next time you make a purchase, whether it's online or in a shop, think about the fascinating history behind the currency you are using. Let's take a moment to recap what we've learned today. We started our journey from commodity money, where intrinsic value was key, to the creation and use of coins made of precious metals like gold. We discussed the introduction of the gold standard and how economic challenges led to the transition to fiat money. Finally, we explored how modern technologies, such as digital currencies, are redefining our understanding of money. Thank you for joining me today on this exciting exploration of the evolution of currency. Understanding how money has changed over time can give us valuable insights into our financial systems today. If you're curious to learn more and continue your studies in economics, there are many resources available, such as the Federal Reserve's official website, Britannica, and Investopedia. Remember, the knowledge you gain about money today can empower you in the future. Until next time, keep learning and exploring the fascinating world of economics.